Hello, my name is Melanie Salazar, and I will be doing my presentation on nonverbal communication. So, nonverbal communication refers to the way that we move, the way that we look, and the way that we react when we're engaging with another person. Although not a lot of importance is given to nonverbal communication and it is not really talked about often. It is extremely important because based on how you communicate non-verbally, you're showing the other person whether or not to care of what you're saying or whether you're actually paying attention or listening. So there is a few components to nonverbal communication. Some of them are posture. So the way that you stand, whether you're slouched, whether you're standing straight, that could make a big difference in how you portray yourself to the other person. Because if you have like a slouched posture, that may indicate that you're not really paying attention, you're not really focused, or you're not really engaged in what's going on. Whereas if you have like a straight posture, that can make a huge difference. So also there's proximity. So proximity, how close you're standing to a person, that matters. Too close might feel a little bit uncomfortable, whereas at a safe distance, you're showing that you're engaged in what's going on. So touch and gestures are also very important. Gestures in the way that you speak, like how where you put your hands, how you use your hands to speak or express yourself. The quality of your voice, like your tone or how fast you're talking. A person that is really, really engaged in the conversation is expected to talk a little bit slower and in a respectful tone of voice versus like a tone of voice that may indicate some sort of attitude or some sort of like disdain with what's going on. So there's also facial expression, the way that you put your face, the way that whatever expressions you make with your face may indicate to a person how you truly feel about them despite of what you're saying verbally. And the last one is eye behavior. So, where your eyes are looking, if you're looking directly at the person that is speaking to you, or if you're looking to the side, that could indicate to a person whether you're really focused on what they're telling you or whether you are just thinking about something else, kind of distracted off the conversation. Eye behavior is also a bit tricky when it comes to nonverbal communication because it has a lot of aspects in culture since different cultures have different portrayals of what eye behavior should look like in any type of communication. For example, in Japan, when looking directly at a person, it is indicated like as a challenge almost or disrespect, whereas in America, looking directly at a person is seen as a sign of respect when they're speaking to you. So that really may vary depending on culture. So in this first picture, we have a young woman, and some of the components of nonverbal communication that I identified in this one, as much as the other pictures, is posture, gesture, facial expression, and eye behavior. So the posture is kind of hard to tell because the picture is not like very from a distance, but from the way that she's standing, you can tell that she's kind of like slanted to the side. She's not standing directly facing the camera. However, the gesture of her hands like in front of her body is almost like if she's covering herself or she's protecting herself. Same as her facial expression, it indicates that she's serious with a furrowed brow, and her eye behavior. She is looking directly at the camera. However, when you put all of these components together, her posture, her gesture of putting her hands in front of her body, and her questioning facial expression, this indicates that she may not know the person that is holding the camera or may not trust that person. She's feeling a bit unsure, maybe unsafe. And this one, we can see that this woman has like a slouched posture with her hand to her hip and she shows like a serious expression with a furrowed brow, but she's not directly looking at the camera. So this, from what I can take of all the nonverbal components of this picture, it seems like the person is not feeling confident in herself, nor is she feeling comfortable with the person that is holding the camera. In this one, the man in the photo shows a relaxed posture. He is moving his hand, he's touching his head. His facial expression shows him with a little bit of a furrowed brow, potentially due to the sun, but he's essentially smiling. He seems happy, he seems pleased, and he is not looking at the camera directly. But from putting all these components together, this man looks like he's relaxed, he's feeling good with himself, he's having a good energy. And when speaking to a person like this, you might feel relaxed yourself, you might feel happy yourself, as he's transmitting this energy through the nonverbal components of communication. And then lastly, we have this one. This man shows a comfortable posture in a sense that he is holding himself against the car or truck, but he's standing tall at the same time. If putting together all these components of his gesture, of putting his hands on his hip, his eye behavior of looking straight at the camera, and his facial expression of that slight smile, it shows that this man is feeling good with himself. He feels confident of who he is, of how he is, and he just portrays that confidence through these components of nonverbal communication.